Welcome back, YouTube. We are back with another trade recap video. I hope you had a good Tuesday. Today we're going to go over some trades I took on Neo. You're going to see that I actually took quite a few here in the beginning as I was testing out different strategies and still ended up green. As always, if you guys enjoy the content, please feel free to subscribe if you haven't already, and go ahead and give the video a thumbs up. Alright guys, here we are on the Neo chart. Now this morning I took a few trades pre-market because I was trying out a strategy which basically has you finding the 9 and the 20 and seeing the momentum drop below or above that level. Take your entry and basically use the 9 or the 20 as your stop loss. This really only works for me on kind of lower float stocks and stocks that have a catalyst. I did trade that on MARPS. There wasn't really a lot of interesting stuff going on there. It was more experimentation and stuff like that. So if I do get anything interesting, I'll be sure to share with you guys. Here on Neo, what you're going to see is a few entries. Even though there are a lot of triangles on the screen, I'm going to try to walk you through each of these trades and show you how it's scaled out. As I've been talking to you guys in previous videos, I've been basically trying to also work on my ABCD patterns and try to identify reversals because I'm a big reversal fan. I love seeing a stock get overextended and then basically just give everything back from those profits on, people that are scared or just overextension really. So that's exactly what we had this morning. If you will see here, really I wasn't looking at this stock. I was actually watching Oxy at the open, so I did not get this 1 minute move here where it would have been actually a nice pullback and then an entry rip up like this. So I wasn't on Neo until the 5 minute mark. I noticed this popping up and I saw this and then I saw the pullback. Now normally you should see this and be ready for the bounce and to rip up higher for an ABCD pattern. What I saw was I saw this and then I saw this make a lower high, a lower low, and to me that just felt bullish. When I took this entry for the short, basically was looking for this to close around this area and then for this candle to pop back down, basically move back down, and on the 5 minute I was looking for a rejection and a move back down through the VWAP. Unfortunately we didn't get that. What we got was a bounce directly off of the VWAP on this green candle. Now as you see, the green candle didn't have a lot of volume on it, which kind of helped me out with my next trade. As this candle did rip up, you know me, I set my stop loss, and as soon as it broke the high of this level right here, which would normally be our D, I went ahead and I stopped out. So I did not hold into that position to try to do anything fancy. What we had here was, this. You could have looked at this as your B, and then a C here, and this would have been the D if you would have traded it that way. It wouldn't have been a bad trade, to be honest with you, if you would have taken this pop, let it pull back, and then taken an entry around the VWAP and a bounce off of the 9 EMA. You could have got an entry around 33.6, and then, either taking your profits here at D, which would have been, honestly, a nice 15-cent gain, or even up here, which would have been a nice, not really too big of a gain, but it would have been a nice gain, maybe around 15 to 20, depending on where you got your entry at. Unfortunately for me, I took the short, stopped out here, but then I noticed my favorite candle. It is the red doji hammer when you see something make a new high. When I see this guy, I see overextension and I see weakness. And when that is paired with this candle down here, which is showing me that the volume just isn't there and everything's starting to turn red, that is my indicator. I have a clear stop loss, which is formed by this candle right here. This wick is a very small wick, and I'll let this go up, and then as it fell back down, I went ahead and I took my entry here. I wasn't quite sure how aggressive this candle was going to be just because of this ABCD setup. I thought that this may just pull back and bounce off of this S2 level right here, which is why I went ahead and I took a small partial here. This was a quarter, and it was probably about, I don't know, maybe a 7-cent winner. And I went ahead and took another quarter here. As you can see, this is all part of one trade. This was one trade here, and this is an entire trade here. This trade was actually an addition into this trade. So I took my large share here, quarter, then I actually added my full position back as it fell through the VWAP. Once it fell through the VWAP, that was right around the 33.58 level, I had my stop loss, and the stop loss actually moved up to around this level, so it was still fairly high. I had to move from 33.59 all the way back down to the previous day's close, which is this white dotted line. That was my target, and that was a nice, right around a 19-cent move. So as it came down here, I went ahead and hit sell half and set the break even to, the break even for my stop loss. So I dumped half my shares here. The stop loss for break even was moved around this area, so I just scooted it down to the VWAP, and as you can see, it came back and stopped me out. I was really aggressive on this trade. I know how Neo trades when it loses levels or when it gains levels. So, I was really aggressive with this re-add, and it paid off. So that was a really good trade. So here we have one trade. We have two trades. Now, what we have here, again, as if I did not learn my lesson, we have same pattern, pull up, tap the S3 twice, pull back down to the 9. What did I do? I'm short biased, so here I go again, taking a short. What happened again? It bounced right off of the 9 EMA. Now, one of the reasons that I'm getting caught by these is because if you'll notice straight down here, we are not bouncing up off the 9 EMA with a lot of volume. I took the short on a really low volume red candle. So to me, that was like, okay, this guy's losing momentum. So let me go ahead and take a short. The smart thing would have been to take a short once this confirmed below the 9. I got impatient and I took it here. And as you can see, this is my stop loss. My entry was right around 33.74 and my exit was right at 33.84. So there again, we had another stop loss, and that one got me again. Not too big of a loss. Again, I was just going with my regular share size there, so it was like, the 10-cent loss that I normally take. This is a trade that I don't normally take, my fourth trade that I want to show you guys. But one thing that I played was EMA momentum. This thing had bounced off of the 9 too much, and there was just too much bullish momentum on this stock. I was not going to let it get off the hook this early just because we had a good amount of volume. We were getting around 218,000 shares per candle, which was a decent amount for me. So what I did is I let this pull back down, and when I saw this create a higher low off of the 9 EMA, as it came back up, I went ahead and I took a long where I was stopped out previously. This was basically a play for the break of high day. This was a high day break, bounce off the 9 EMA. And that's exactly what happened. We had a small candle here with green volume, but as you can see, green, 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 green. Beautiful green volume all the way through this trade. I did take the long here, which was right around 33.82. I then took a partial here at 33.92, 33.96, and then we got the rip through 34, and I went ahead and took my last at 33.04. So that was a really good trade, and as you can see here, this is where we're ending that on the 5-minute candles. I actually did take a few more trades. We'll scoot over there and have a look. I'm not trying to go through every single one of my Neo trades because I did take quite a few on this one stock today. Yeah, and there we go. This was another short that I got stopped out on. The 9 EMAs started to flatten out. Like, we were super extended through this move away from our EMAs. So I said, okay, maybe we're getting a little extended. Let me go ahead and grab this short. And once again, we had the bounce off of the 9 EMA and it went up here. I don't want to make excuses, but right around this time, I got a bang on my door, and it was actually the folks that work at my apartment. They wanted to come in and check some painting that needed to be done. So I had to smash the stop loss button. I was not going to step away from my computer with this entry. It could have just went to the moon. Unfortunately, it did dip, and I had to sit here and talk to those guys while I watched my trade go south, and it kind of pissed me off. But hey, it is what it is. You know, I stopped out. I wasn't going to let it run, and this was like I don't even know. I got in around 34.03, and I stopped out around 34.07. So it was like a 4-cent stop loss. It didn't really bother me that much. My last trade was this level right here, break of high of day. We had a huge bounce off of this 20, pull back, consolidate, and as it moved through here, I hit the enter key. I didn't get filled until I was up here. It did rip up for about an 8-cent win, and I took my profits and I hit break even. I traded a lot on NEO this morning. It just had a lot of momentum on it, so normally NEO does one of two things. It'll make this move where it'll pull back and go across, and it'll just continue higher. And some days where I get caught up in a trap on NEO is where it'll rip through the VWAP, but then it'll turn right around on the next candle and go right back the other direction. And that's where I normally lose a lot of money on NEO because I keep getting stopped out. I can't get enough return on my profits to actually take any profits. So it's really a pain. So, today I was happy because NEO actually sustained some volume. Once it made this move through the VWAP, honestly, I could have taken a long here, just flipped this trade and just rode this thing all the way up. But, I didn't, and that's okay. Today was actually a green day, so I was really happy about that. Actually traded Oxy a few times. I stayed away from Facebook just because I wasn't certain what that stock was going to do today. But all in all, it was a good day. I traded my price range. My favorite price range is around, 25, 35, 45, around that level right there. So good day, good momentum. Hope everybody enjoyed this content. As always, come back tomorrow. Hopefully we'll have another video for you guys. Take care and always stay green.